Hey, what is up everybody? Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over exactly the issues that people already are having with Rico, and apparently the misconstruement of people thinking that she's just not as good as Cord, or that she's just not as good due to Cord absolutely not moving. So I'm here to actually debunk a lot of that stuff here as a comparison type of deal, because these characters utterly enact differently. So if anyone wants a TLDR, you don't feel like watching the whole video, that's perfectly fine. I understand it. Pretty much all I'm going to be saying here is they act totally different. The ways they act different are not even really comparable at all. The only thing they really share that's of the same value is the fact that they're both supporters. Now, if anyone who wants to go more in depth, of course, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I got some things to talk about. I'm going to have some gameplay in the background. We're also going to be showing a little bit of exactly what Rico does to really get this comparison out there. So let's get straight into it. So one of the first things that I noticed is I did the PV yesterday, and a lot of you guys was very excited for this character one. A lot of you guys were excited, but there were a few people who were mainly trying to compare Rico to Cord, saying that, oh, she doesn't seem as good as Cord, so there's no point, right? That she's doing anything. It's just not a point. Or either, oh, she doesn't seem as good as Cord, so why would I pull because of this? Cord actually does like highlight spams and stuff like that. Why would I pull for her when she's not even as good as it? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, have you guys sat down and read her actual kit? Like, we don't even have her in the game and she sounds absolutely broken. So I'm still kind of misconstruing where people are kind of getting that thought process that Rico is not going to be good. This character is going to be exceptionally good, and they act utterly different. Take Cord, for example. She is meant for attack boosting, damage boosting. She has a highlight spam, all that stuff, and she passively heals your team as well, right? That is something that she is specializing in, right? That's something that she helps out with. As for Rico, it's not even comparable because they don't do the same things, right? They don't act the same way. The only thing that they share is the supporter category. The reason I say this is because if you guys read at least Rico's thing inside my video yesterday, you would understand that Rico acts differently. Let me pull this up right here. Rico is based as a crit rate character, crit damage character as well. That can help you gain not only SP here, but also help out with your what's it called, SP restoration, help you out with attack. Like, this is attack damage she's also giving no matter what. That's one of the things that they do share. But alongside of here that she actually is able to freaking do here is, if we look at his, she's able to also give up crit rate, crit damage on most of her skills, boosting a lot of crit damage and stuff like that. That's not something that Cord does. Cord doesn't help out with the crit rate, crit damage section. She helps more out into that damage bonus and stuff like that, while Rico is helping out on that crit rate, crit damage section, allowing us to start maybe trying to run double DPS, or allowing us to really just get those hyper damage carries that we want. If we think about this here and we do the comparison, it's not Rico and Cord we should be comparing. Like, we shouldn't be comparing those two. No, we should be comparing Rico and Leon. The reason being here is because Leon is the only other character that heavily buffs our crit damage like this, right? Think about it. His whole kit is meant for just heavily buffing your entire, like, your character with crit damage, right? We're now getting that crit damage side, and we're getting crit rate to boot. Like, that's what we should be comparing. The fact that people are calling her kind of iffy to get because, of course, what's it called, her not being like exactly like Cord where you can highlight spam, or either people feel like that the highlight spam is more useful for this. I hate to tell you this, but a lot of you guys are going to probably be the ones who skip and then quite literally regret skipping, kind of like how a lot of people, or maybe them, the people I'm talking about right now, skipped for the first time with Cord, where the second we got that character, everyone who skipped regretted it, because quite literally she changed how P5X was going. Rico's going to be the same way. She's not going to probably go in the same team because, of course, you're not going to want them in the same team. You're probably going to put these on two separate teams. You have two separate hyper carry teams. Think of it. Cord is already hyper carrying one team. as long as you have a supporter in there or a debuffer, you're going to end up running, of course, your main DPS, Wonder, a debuffer, and then Cord. Boom, hyper carry team right there. Then you're going to end up running your secondary team, which normally is either crazy hyper carried by Leon and some other people to really make it so you can get rid of things, or either you just have it kind of balanced out. Well, now thanks to Rico, we can just straight up hyper carry it to death, because now you have the crit rate bonus and crit damage built into one character. Yeah, you don't have the highlight spam, but who needs the highlight spam when you can just straight up nuke? Right? You don't need to highlight spam. You just nuke the whole freaking earth right there and it's gone. So that whole point of Rico's worse than Cord is already invalidated, because at this point they don't act the same. They don't do anything that's similar, and it's kind of weird to give off those vibes, right? If we literally can go ahead and look back at Rico's entire deal here, right? We're getting that crit damage, we're getting the crit rate, we're getting all this stuff here, but she's just helping out with even the SP regain. SP has recently been an issue, especially with at least some of the SOS at least missions. SP has been a little bit of an issue. Guess what? She's helping out with SP regain. Her weapon is absolutely insane. We haven't seen any other weapons that actually are really needed or like kind of must have, since maybe we had Haru, we had I'm trying to see who's another weapon that's really you want to get. I mean, Cord is not as like mandatory, but it is hecka wanted because of the amount of at least highlight that you get, right? She has things that quite literally are worth it. Her passes alone are worth it. We're able to increase our attack off of this, and as well, we have more than that, able to increase our crit damage just off of her passives. Like things like this is stuff that she's just able to do. I'm not even getting into the awarenesses, because her awarenesses are nearly as just disgusting as Cord's, right? They're really just as broken, which is why I'm getting to a point where I'm looking at folks and I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, listen, just tell me you haven't read the kit, because this character here, a lot of people shouldn't be really clowning on, especially if we are going to genuinely look at the kit and check it out. You shouldn't be clowning on it. This her being at A0, it helps out wind characters, or starts out wind characters. A lot of people are probably going to go for A1. You know what that allows us to do? That allows us to finally just say, screw it. This opens up the ability of her being put into any team. It's no longer just based only on win teams, right? You know how Cord goes into any team? This is what gives her her value. At A1, you get a bunch of other upgrades, but with this, you also can do the when taking any element damage. Is no longer when taking wind damage. She's able to be put into any team that has an elemental debuff. That immediately makes her just as helpful as Cord. A0 is really stinking good, right? But A1, much like Cord, you love A0. She works perfectly at A0, but that A1 is really good. So it's kind of weird seeing people not like taking that thought process of maybe we need to see more about her before, of course, we decide to judge her, because it's kind of interesting. It's like people just did not decide to read the kit, and that's where a lot of problems are having. We can't have that, people. We can't just do that. That's not a good thing to do. It really doesn't make a good situation for the characters, and it doesn't make a good situation if you are trying to genuinely pay attention and what's it called, genuinely try to pay attention and try to accelerate or better your account. Now, a lot of people don't care about that, and that's understandable. Pull who you want. At the end of the day, we do have, of course, P5R collab with Akechi coming up eventually. We have some New Year's characters that are eventually going to come out. We have all that stuff. So I do understand the reasoning why people might be skipping. I'm not telling you to summon. That's not the whole understanding here. What the understanding that's happening here is, I need people to stop spreading false information, please. Or I need people to actually stop downplaying a character that is absolutely already known to be this good, and we don't even have the character yet. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, I have to rant for a quick second. This video hopefully won't be late. I should be going up at 9 o'clock on the head. But thank you guys all for watching. Sorry if it was a rant video a little bit. I had some gameplay in the background that I'm doing at the same time. But Till next time, everybody, you guys stay safe, stay sharp, stay determined. Peace.